I'm going to show you how to unlock your motorcycle's hidden performance in the next 5 minutes.
T-minus 5 minutes.
If you're on a motorcycle and you want to go faster, then you're not going to want to miss this, because you're about to learn how to gain performance in a motorcycle from the most advanced and expensive methods to the easiest, cheapest things you can do at home, by yourself, with beer, and maybe the help of some of my other videos. Now, by the end, you're going to totally understand your options to get the maximum performance from whatever motorcycle you have. And I'll make some easy recommendations for anyone new to this stuff. Most people make an incredibly huge boner mistake when they buy a motorcycle. They ride it stock. That is so weak. But seriously, most people ride their bikes not knowing they have built-in choke down limitations, usually coming from but your motorcycle can be way faster and a hell of a lot more fun. I will show you how. Before we get started, I want to debunk a myth that I find particularly annoying, and it's this belief that performance is just top speed. Now, performance is not just top speed. Ready for some nerd stuff here? Performance refers to a bike's capability to accelerate, hit high speeds, and brake effectively, all of which are influenced by its engine's power and torque, the bike's design, how its suspension and brakes are also engineered. It encompasses not just raw speed and acceleration, but also the rider's control and safety. Blah. So let's break this down a little more simply. There are basically 3 main areas where a motorcycle needs to perform: go, turn, and stop. But today, we're gonna really focus on how to go, go, go. Now, most riders will never hit their bike's top speed, but nobody's gonna turn down a little more power. Am I right? Now, I know a thing or two about the go part of performance because my first bike was a slow as hell Honda Shadow VT600. I spent years perfecting and dialing in its performance, and I've helped well over 100,000 riders improve the performance of their bikes with my favorite performance kits that let you squeeze every ounce of juice out of your bike without turning it into a jet engine on 2 wheels. I put links in the description if you want to check those out. So let's dive in and explore performance upgrade options. We're going to start with the most advanced and expensive upgrades, the stuff that costs big freaking money, lots of time, and real skill, but adds serious power. First is big bore kits and high compression pistons. These are engine parts. They make the inside of the engine bigger. More displacement equals more space for fuel and air to explode. More space means more horsepower and more torque. Torque is the twisty power that pulls you forward. So you get more horsies and more torqueys. Camshafts. These are little weird shaped metal sticks inside the engine that control how the valves open and close, and they can make power show up at higher RPMs. That means when the engine is spinning faster. Forced induction. This is when you use turbos or superchargers, which are basically machines that push extra air into the engine. Now, some bikes have them available aftermarket, and sure, you can homebrew that, but they are crazy expensive and can wear out your engine way faster. Plus, usually once you do these, the bike is really not streetable. Now, streetable means there's not much between full throttle and idle, so it's not a great bar hopper anymore, but it is good for going really fast in a straight line. So that's like the extreme, most expensive kind of stuff you can do. Let's move on to the stuff that's a little less difficult, is not as expensive. These are great upgrades that you can bolt on and ride, with some tuning, of course. First is your exhaust. That's where the pipe with the smoke that comes out, right? And the intake where the air goes in. These are both great ways to get more power. A free-flowing exhaust and a high-flow filter or velocity stack let the engine breathe so much better. I put links in the description to those. Now, you pair that with a performance tuning kit or an EFI map, which is basically nerdy hooking it up to a computer to the bike's fuel controller. Fuel controller is a tiny computer that tells the engine how much gas and air to use. And once you do that stuff, the bike will feel way stronger. Even if you're not chasing quarter-mile race times, a tune-up can let your bike run free instead of being stuck in the stock factory slow settings. So that's the stuff that you can do that's, well, simple. It's not very insanely complicated. I have videos that can help walk you through that stuff. Let's move on to the pretty basic and really not hella spendy kind of stuff. Okay, so maintenance. Pretty damn easy stuff, right? Well, might cost a little bit of money, right? But it will empty your wallet. First, keep your tires full of air and in good shape. Change your oil often. Use good oil and a strong filter. Oh, keep your chain oiled, lubricated, and tensioned right. If it is floppy and rusty, get a new chain or adjust it, except if it's rusty. If it's rusty, throw that thing out. Also, make sure your spark plugs, those are little parts that light the fuel, are gapped correctly. Don't let your air filter get filled with trash and used condoms. Also, old tires or low air pressure will make your bike slow as hell and very hard to handle. So fresh tires with the right air pressure make the bike feel quick. So a basic tune-up can really make a huge difference here. So we've covered some really expensive and pretty complex ways to increase performance. We've also covered some not as expensive, a little more easy ways to do that. Now we're going to talk about an even easier way to unlock performance. First is to lose some weight. Yes, I'm talking to you, Tubby. Drop a few pounds. Now, I'll be honest. I know 3 chunky people, and I'm 2 of them. So I'm cutting back to 1 12-pack a week. But seriously, making your bike lighter is cheap and easy. Get an anti-gravity battery, take off extra junk, your bike will move faster. Next is technique. That means how you ride. Take a riding class. Practice in a parking lot. Learn some counter steering. Learn to shift at the right RPMs. RPM is how fast your engine spins or how many rotations the engine rotates per minute. Learn to brake smoother, corner better. These skills can give you speed way before you buy any parts. Now, while you can do all kinds of super dope upgrades, if you don't get the right stuff, you can really damage your bike. So I've dropped a bunch of links in the description to help you get more out of your motorcycle. Check those out and take your bike to the next level. I hope you enjoy.